the second day, Raquel and I woke up at like 8 to get some breakfast. We just like stuffed ourselves in continental breakfast. I got back the night before at like 1:30, and she got back at 3. So she was a little tired. We met Anthony there, and he was just kind of a wreck. Um, so we decided that day to split up and just go kind of our separate ways. So she and Anthony got rented bikes for the day and just biked around Salzburg all day, which apparently was really good. And then what I did, I just like walked around, um, just all around Salzburg. And my main goal, of course, was to go to this Museum of Modern Art. So I was walking around and to kind of where I thought it would be, which I was completely wrong about. But I ended up stumbling on these really, really amazing gardens. And it was next to a Baroque museum, which I like wanted to go to, but I didn't really have time because we were all meeting up at 1. So I was like, all right, well, this is really cool. So I like walked around for a little bit, and there was this big like greenhouse with in oh, I can never remember the name of it. It's like one of the big cages with birds. Like it's apiary. I think apiary is a bee hive. I'm not sure. Anyway, so it was one of those with a lot of birds. And it was really beautiful. So I was like walking around and just like checking out um, the whole place. And I walked up this little hill to the statue, and I like sat down on this bench, and this Indian guy came down and sat next to me. And I was like, all right. So he started talking to me in English. And he was like, where are you from? I was like, oh, I'm from America. Where are you from? I was like, are you from here? And he was like, no, I'm from India. And I was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, how long have you been here? I was like, I've been here for a month. I've just traveled a lot. So we were talking about the Czech Republic, and like, he had lived in Prague for a while, and he was like, it's so cheap there. Because in Austria, it's obscenely expensive to do anything. Um, so we were talking for a little bit, and he was like, how long have you been here? I was like, only a day. I'm leaving tonight. He was like, oh, that's too bad. I think you're really beautiful. I wanted to talk to you more. And I was like, I have to leave. so, I left there. And I was like walking down in this garden to this big fountain. And this woman with a little girl, she was like in her late 20s probably. She was talking to this homeless guy who had a big, like a huge stick, and was fishing euros out of the fountain. And she was just like talking to him, having a normal conversation, which was like kind of cool actually. And all of a sudden, this old man like came by and started screaming at the homeless guy, and like it was all in German, so I couldn't understand anything. But he was just like freaking out. He took all the coins that he had collected out of the pool or out of the fountain and pushed it back in, like he threw it back in. And the homeless guy just like was kind of pissed, but just like walked away. Um, and then the woman with the daughter flipped out. So they were like yelling at each other. And throughout this whole time, like all the people in the garden started like coming over to like watch. And I was like, I should probably leave. But it was like just such a cool thing to witness. I don't know why, but it was so interesting. So like walked by, and then I like walked down this little pathway under all these like vine arches, and there were these, I think they were Iranian girls who were taking pictures, so I like took a picture for them, and it was just like a really, really beautiful day. So I was like walking around some more, and got to I went to the other side of um, the river. I don't remember what it's called. It's a big river in Salzburg. And like was trying to go back to this other museum, so I was wandering around for a while, and got to this big square that was so beautiful. There was another Christmas market that was being set up there, so I hung out for a little bit. Um, and there were all these statues. Like there was one big golden globe with a wooden man on top of it, which was kind of cool. And beneath it, there was a big like life size chess set that a bunch of old men were playing, which was kind of cool. So I like went through there, and there's I don't remember what it's called. It's like the House of Salzburg or something. It's a big cathedral. Um, And so I like went in, and there was a service because it was Sunday, and so I like went and stopped in. Like it's kind of bad that I'm like a religious tourist, but I found it really fascinating. So I stayed for a little bit and would have stayed for the whole service, but I had this time limit because we were meeting at 1. So I left a little bit early and was walking around some more, and then I didn't I didn't get lost, but I couldn't find the museum, so I ended up asking some people where it was, and eventually found it, and it was like right next to the church, or the cathedral, which is like a little upsetting. So I went into this place, and it was a really really good show. Like the museum was kind of small. It was Museum of Modern Art Rupertinum. I actually bought a poster. Okay, wait. Oh my god, this is not working. Oh god, I give up. Anyway, the poster is it's a seal standing on a bunch of human bones. I just think it's really funny. Um, so I went into this museum, and the show they had was photographs and short films of South American artists, which was really really interesting. Like mostly contemporary art. So I got in and started talking to the woman who sold me my ticket to get in about like America and American art, which is really good. Um, and I also realized as I was in there that I really love like modern Mexican female artists. I don't really know what that is, like what it is about me, but um, I love like everything I've seen so far. I just really love. And there was one piece that was in this museum that I think was also in, I think, Tate Modern. I'm not sure. I'm starting to get my museums all mixed up. But she's like really incredible. And there's one photographer who's probably the greatest photographer I've ever seen in my life. Like his work was amazing. I wrote down their names, but I don't remember them right now. Um, so I went there and then left. Well, I like went back down, and then there was another guy who was selling tickets, and we ended up talking about um, art again. He sold me this poster. He was talking about actualism, which is a movement that only happened in Austria. Um, so we talked about that for a little bit, and I was just like really happy, like go on my way. So I was wandering around some more, and I texted Anthony and Raquel to meet at 2 instead, because we were gonna go to the zoo together. Um, so uh, so I wandered around a little bit more, and I was like getting late for when I was gonna meet up with them. But then I saw this museum that was toy museum slash historic instruments museum. I was like, there's so many museums I want to see, but I cannot pass this up, especially since I like don't have much time anyway. Like I wanted to see, there was another modern art museum that I wanted to go to, but that wouldn't happen, and the Salzburg Museum, which I would have gone to, but I couldn't. And then there was also like a marionette theater, which I would have loved, but there just wasn't enough time. It's like kind of the theme of the weekend. Um, but I went to this toy museum, which was like €2, which was really good, and it was like a really well made museum. Like it was not very well attended like, at all, but it was just well made. It was like very educational and geared towards kids, but like definitely had like an educational side to it and a side for like adults too, which is really nice. So I left there, and alright, this video is getting long, so I'll talk about the zoo after.